We're going to log into our OpenCart store now, and we're going to set up our system. So we go to our systems, then down here to the settings and click on settings. Now in our settings we've got one store. My store name is firas.com. So I'm just going to go over here and click to edit. Now the first tab we're met with here is the general tab. The store name is the name that will be displayed on your contact page. The store owner name will be the name that will be displayed in emails that your OpenCart online shop will be sending out. Store tab and the title tab. The title tab will be displayed in the browser title toolbar here, for instance. The meta tag description is basically the description that search engines will see. So this is kind of your calling card, if you like. For instance, I've done a search here for skatenutter.com, and this is Skatenutter's meta tag description. So it's very relevant content that goes in there. So it's worthwhile having to think about this content here, because this often is the calling card for your customer to click on your website. Our template is our default template, which is the OpenCart template here, which is like white background, blue buttons, etc. You can install various templates. Templates are covered in a separate video. Default layout then is, as I say, just a default. OpenCart comes with these pre-populated names of layouts. Layouts is covered in a different video. So here we just set our layout for the store. We just leave it at default. Then local tab, basically it's your location. So for instance, I'm here in Ireland and my region is Leitrim, language is English. My administration language also is English. OpenCart can handle multi-languages and also multi-currencies. If you have other languages installed on OpenCart, they'll be available to you here to drop down and select those languages. Now the currency, OpenCart comes pre-populated with 3 currencies, Euro, Pound Sterling and US dollar. When you've added currencies, just drop down here and they'll be available. That's in a later stage. Auto update the currency, yeah, very important. Foreign exchange rates, keep them up to date by clicking here. Here we can set our length and weight classes down the bottom. So I'm going to be setting my length class as centimeters and weight class as kilograms. Onto options. Now in the options page, the first thing we have is items. So default items per page catalog. This is referring to the front end of your store. I'll just flip over to the front end of our demo store as was downloaded from OpenCart, just to show you. So we go into any of the categories and subcategories here as it happens, and this is our list, our catalog of products. So the amount of products needed to be displayed here is basically this setting here, and the other setting is default items per page in the admin. We'll just go over to the OpenCart's demo store, and this is what's meant here. So we're showing 1 to 20 of 39. So if we have this set for 50, then it'll be showing 50 items here in the back end. This would default through from your categories through to your products, options, etc. So again, if you need to see more than 20 at a time, just change this number here. Now on products, or category product count, this shows the number of products beside each subcategory, and just to show you what I mean, I'm going to go back over to OpenCart again, and this is relating to this little figure here where PC has 0 and Mac has 1. So this is what they're on about here. And as it said here, be warned, this will cause an extreme performance hit for stores with a lot of subcategories. So by that they mean if you have a lot of subcategories, basically it's going to slow down your delivery speed of your website. So it may be worth considering leaving this at no for the moment. Again, particularly so when you're building your website initially, you mightn't have all your products and categories etc. set up. Maybe just take no to this one here. Now the next one is allow reviews. So this is customer reviews. Your customers can leave reviews for the products on your website. In each product you have a write a review, so your customer will come along and click on this. They will see that there's no reviews for the product at the moment, as it also says here, so they can leave their name and write their review here and give it a 5-star rating, and they need to enter this captcha code here to continue with their review. Now the reviews are subject to you moderating them on the back end, so when you come into your OpenCart dashboard, you'll have reviews waiting approval. Then you go to your catalog and reviews to moderate those. At the moment there's nothing here for moderation in the demo store. And next we have allow downloads. Now allow downloads, if you had downloadable products you would tick yes here. So next we have vouchers, and vouchers relate to gift vouchers on your site that customers can buy, providing you've enabled it. So let's just have a look at gift vouchers. Down the bottom of the demo store here, it's defaulted here to a setting of 25, but that's changeable. Your customer can change that. And the value here, the amount here, is the value of allowable voucher purchases. So it's between $1 and $1,000. So back here, this is where we set this between 1 and 1,000. Now this value here is relevant to whatever currency you have. So if your site is set for default currency of pound sterling, this will be £1 sterling and 1,000, or whatever denomination you put in here. Next we have taxes. So on your OpenCart store you can display prices with tax. So you can click yes or no to this option. And let's just have a quick look at that on the demo store. So here we have the price $119.50, and then we have excluding tax is 100. So that's just where that will be shown. Next we have the VAT number validation. Now if this is selected as yes, this will be particularly relevant for wholesale customers, or if you're selling business to business of any description and you wanted to make sure that you're actually dealing with a VAT registered business. If you tick this here, the services over at europa.eu will validate the VAT number of your potential customer, and to make sure that they're actually that they're not giving you a bogus VAT number for the purpose of maybe gaining goods at wholesale price or something. Now the VAT validation number is relevant only if the store is based in the EU. Here we can use the store's tax address as a way of calculating the tax if your customers are not logged into the site. So you can either use the payment address or the shipping address here. And again here, use the customer's tax address, basically their shipping address as opposed to their payment address, to calculate the tax. So for instance, if I was selling my products from Ireland and somebody in the UK bought my product and wanted to have it shipped to the US of A. Now my customer is in England, but my product that my customer in England has purchased is being sent to somebody in the US. Then we would use the shipping address here as opposed to the purchase address. Now all that said, if you're non-VAT registered, if you're not registered for VAT, then you can simply just leave these two with none being the setting here. Now we scroll down a little bit and go to account. Here on the account section, we can have our customers online tracked by clicking the yes here. On customer group here, the default customer group is when your customer logs in or creates an account, that they go just into the default customer group. Now there's only one item here at the moment, and that's just default, so we have no choice there. But we can set up different customer groups. For instance, if we were selling both wholesale and retail, we could have one group set up for wholesale customers. So it's always good to let them go into default and moderate them at a later stage manually. Now here we'll see in the customer groups it's just displaying that there is only one, and that's the default. Now log in to display the prices. Now when a customer goes to your website, you can set the website that they won't be able to see the prices of your products until they log in or create an account. Again, this will be perhaps very relevant for wholesale customers if you're using your website for wholesale sales. And down here on account terms, this is going to force people to agree to the terms before an account can be created. So you can drop this down here, and these pages here, about us, delivery information, privacy policy, terms and conditions, these are all pages that you will create yourself if you haven't done so already. We'll leave it at a private privacy policy for now. Scroll down now a little bit to our checkout. Now here we can choose on the display weight on the cart page. So in other words, we can show the weight of the item. Again, there's no need really, but it may be applicable to some stores or more relevant than others. Now, guest checkout here, this allows people to anonymously check out. In other words, they can come in and buy a product and purchase it off you online, and they don't actually create an account. So again, I would take no here, would be my preference, because if I'm a customer going in, I still have to enter all the same details. There's no additional details to enter for your customer to create an account. The only difference is the account gets stored on your website, and therefore you have the ability to contact that customer again, because you will have their email address and their contact details. So I think to leave this at nose is a pretty good idea here. Now, checkout terms, we can drop down and select our terms and conditions or whatever relevant page we have here for our terms, so our customers have to agree to that before they check out. Order editing, here you set the number of days allowed to edit an order. This is, as I say here, this is required because price and discounts may change over time, corrupting the order if it's edited. So again, set a date here if you need to change the order. And then invoice prefix. So if you scroll down here a little bit, your invoice prefix, this can be anything you want. Basically, when you set up a new online shop, if your first order invoice number just looks like this, like 1, it doesn't look so good maybe perhaps, so we might just put the year in and then maybe just 00. And then the first order number would look like this, the second one like this, etc, etc. Now, order status, set the default order status when an order is processed. So in other words, when your customer gets a notification email, they'll receive the status of the order is being processed. And the completed order status then down here, this should be set to shipped. So with the shipped basically means that it's posted off and that order is complete on your end of the deal. Now let's scroll down a little bit to the stock. So on stock, we can click here to display the quantities. If you had 10 items on your page, you can click yes to display the quantity, and this is automated. When one item sells, it'll show the quantity 9, etc, etc, etc. It may not be something you need to do if you have a perpetual product that you don't need this for. So show out of stock warning basically will show your users when they go to checkout that the item is out of stock. Now, stock checkout here, basically this refers to you're letting your customer buy the item even though it might be out of stock. So if it's something that you can restock or something that is on its way to you, yes or no here, whatever options are relevant to you. And then you can set up statuses for the out of stock. So for instance, the default one here at the moment is out of stock. So you have options to set up 2 to 3 days, for instance. There will be the message people will get instead of out of stock. You can set this up to 7 to 10 days or 28 days or whatever you like, or in stock or pre-order. If you manufacture your products and a product or whatever, you can have it that it's pre-order is the default out of stock status. Again, I'm just going to leave that out of stock. Now, affiliates. Affiliates, for anyone who's not familiar with affiliates, it's basically where someone promotes your website or a specific product on your website, and in return you will give them a commission. So OpenCart has a built-in affiliate system to track those transactions. I'd recommend you set up specific terms and conditions for affiliates, outlining when you intend to pay them, things that they need to do, things you need to do. And here you just set the commission rate, so you can give them 5, 10, whatever percentage you decide. And then on the returns, you can get your users to agree to the terms. So again, you can set up specific terms or delivery information. You can put the terms in there. So just basically, this is just getting your customer to agree to your terms and conditions for the returns. So the return status, when somebody goes onto your site and inputs the return detail, the status is that you're awaiting the product to be returned. So even though your customer goes in and fills out that they're returning a product, until you actually get that product, there's nothing you can usually do to help out your customer. Next, we go here to the image tab, and here we have the store logo, our mini banner. So I'll just show you what that is. That's here in the top left hand corner of your store. So you're going to want to change this. You can clear this out here and browse by clicking here into our image manager. We have our logo here, our existing logo here, so we can basically upload from our computer. Now I've already saved an image here on my desktop, so I click to upload it and click OK. It lets me know it's uploaded. Then I need to click on it here to actually place it here. So just before I do that, I just want to tell you, you can create subfolders within your image manager. Here you see we have one called demo, and in the demo one we have all the demo products that come with the OpenCart store. So actually, if you like, you can delete that demo folder completely if you don't intend to use any of those images by clicking delete and OK. So now that's gone, and here we can create a new folder within the image folder if we like, and call that anything you like. So for instance, I'm creating a folder here called banners, and I click submit, and here we have my folder, banners. We click in there and we can see there's nothing in banners at the moment. Another thing we can do is move our folders. We can move them from the image folder to the banners folder by clicking on the image and clicking move. Drop down here, it gives us a list of our other folders. Banner, click submit, click OK. As you can see now, our image is gone and it's here within the banners folder. So we could upload directly to the banners folder by clicking into it and then clicking upload if we wanted to. Anyways, we select our image and it gets placed here. Just a word on this image, we need to be careful what size we make that image, as if we make one too big, it's going to push over here over on top of our currency. Our banner here is 400 pixels by 70 pixels high. It's just leaving us enough space here between the currency. So we need to be just a little bit careful with the size we make this banner. Resources for this video is fiverr.com, a very good place to get cheap graphics if you can't make your own graphics. Now our little icon here, it's what's known as a favicon, and basically the favicon is this little icon up here, and at the moment it's a shopping cart, so we can create a little favicon of our own and put it up there in the same manner as we've created the store logo. And I'm going to upload it directly to my banners folder, so upload it from my desktop, and here it is. Now our category image size relates to our image in our categories. So we go into our categories and it relates to this image here, which allows a description of the category is at the top of your category. Again, this is something that may or may not be applicable to you, to actually have an image in and a description in for your category. But it's always a good idea. The more descriptive your categories, etc., the better search engines like them, and the better chance you have of getting found in a search engine for the search terms that you've put in here. Now the product image thumbnail size, is in relation to the actual thumbnail size of the product image when you go to the product. And under that we have the product image pop-up size, and the pop-up size would be when you click on the image. This is the pop-up size here. And the product image list size is in relation to the photographs, the images shown here in the list. So those ones there are the product list size, the image list size. Additional product image size is in relation to these photographs here of your product, the additional photographs. So for this product here, there's 3 images uploaded, this one, this one, this one, and those ones here are the additional product image sizes. Now the related product image sizes tab this image here. The compare image sizes are the image sizes you set. Your user adds products to compare and they go into their product comparison page, the sizes of those images here. Now even though those 2 images look different sizes, that's because the actual image themselves are different sizes, but the overall viewing area of those sizes are set here at the compare image sizes. Again, similarly with wish list image sizes, your customers can add products to a wish list, and they have to be logged in to go to their wish list, but I think you get the idea here from the wish list. And also the product images on the cart, that's when your customer is checking out, they can see the image and their shopping cart, and that's what that one is related to there. Now next to FTP. Now in the FTP tab, your FTP details can be entered here. Your host name, the port number is 21, so you can enter your FTP username and password here, and the FTP root directory, which is public_HTML, so that could be entered here, and enable FTP directly from here. In the mail tab, there's not a lot to do here if you set up your domain name relevant email address. Basically, if you are setting it up, you need to follow the instructions here, the host name, username, password, port numbers, etc. I'm not really going to do anything here because I don't use this. So now you want to receive email alerts when you receive a new order. So simply do that, leave this ticked as yes. Also, likewise, if there's a new account created, you would leave this ticked yes to be notified by email when a new account is created. The alert emails will be sent to your default address. Presumably at this stage you would have your domain relevant address set up, so email@yourstore.com, etc. would receive your alerts. Additionally, you can put other emails in here. If you have, for instance, a Gmail account and you want to get notified via email to your Gmail account, you can put that address in here. In fact, you can put multiple email addresses in here, just separate them with a comma. Now on the fraud tab, we can use MaxMind fraud detection system. So to use MaxMind fraud detection system and find out more about that, just click on the link and that'll bring you to the MaxMind fraud detection system. It's not something I use myself, and certainly if you're a beginner, I don't think it's something that you'll be needing, but just have a wander over their website anyways and check it out for yourself. Now on the server tab, now if you have purchased a SSL certificate, you will need to tick yes here to begin using the certificate. So in other words, it just gives your clients a bit more confidence in the security of your website. Instead of your standard HTTP, you will have HTTPS for secure in your prefix to your domain name. Vast majority of websites don't need a SSL certificate, as any of the security stuff that they need to be doing, like payments for instance, are done through third parties such as PayPal, who do have a SSL. The use shared sessions basically relates to sharing cookies between stores. So if you had multiple stores running on from your OpenCart, it's something that would speed up the use of it for your customers, providing you've ticked yes here. Now the robots are just a list of crawlers from search engines. Again, the robots here is something you don't really need to worry about, particularly for new users. And moving on to the used SEO URLs, you would click yes to this certainly, because we do intend to start using SEO URLs. In other words, instead of seeing firas.com/admin index route settings, all of this, we will be getting a nice neat URL up here, which is something that the search engines like to see. Scroll down, allowed file extensions. Customer is uploading files with their order. For example, firas.com would require their customers sometimes to upload a graphic as part of their order process. So they could upload a JPEG graphic or a PNG graphic. Again, these are all the file extensions, like doc here for instance is a Microsoft Word document that's allowed to be uploaded, so we can add file extensions here. The allowed MIME types, again we can add and edit, remove and add MIME types here. Maintenance mode, which we should already be in, is basically ticked here as yes. So at the moment our website is in maintenance mode, so anyone coming to the store will get a little maintenance mode message. So we scroll down here, and the allowed forgotten passwords allows us to request new passwords if we forgot our passwords. The encryption key here, it's just a random set of numbers. Again, I'd recommend you change this from the default that comes with the OpenCart to anything crazy. As it says here, it encrypts private information when processing orders. The output compression level relates to the level of HTTP compression to be used in your HTTP header. And display errors, this is for displaying the errors on the actual live site, so you can take yes or no here. If there happen to be any errors, you probably don't want your public seeing them, so maybe just leave this as tick to no. And then the log errors, you do want to keep a log of the errors, so tick yes here. And the default error log file name is error.txt, so leave that there. Now the Google Analytics code, this is important later on when you get to analyzing your traffic to your website and just seeing where it's coming from, and you know, as a potential way of analyzing best places to source your traffic for your website. So highly important would be the Google Analytic. So you can just click here on Google Analytic, and that will bring you to the Google Analytics website. And if you don't already have an account, then you'll need to go here and create an account. If you do have an account, sign in here and go and fetch your Google Analytic code and just come and drop it in here. So when you signed up for your Google Analytic account, you go to your admin section and go to your tracking info and click on tracking code and scroll down a little bit just so we can see this. Now here is your actual tracking code. So you copy and you go back to your Google Analytic box on your website and paste that code in there, and you're done. Then you scroll up the top and click save. So that should be the system settings taken care of for now. It's important just to make sure that we've modified the settings and make sure we've got the success message here.